Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu einem weiteren Teil von Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII. Wir sind mitten in einer Mission, um unsere kulinarischen Fertigkeiten zu verbessern. Und dazu essen wir jetzt von den verschiedenen Köchen hier in Yusnaan uns wild durch das Sortiment, beginnend beim Bankettmeister.
Willkommen. When offering a complete dining experience to discerning patrons, superb food and excellent drinks are not enough. One must always anticipate the needs of your patrons. I am constantly assessing the dining space from the viewpoint of my customers, the comfort, the decor. Our customers want more than just a meal. They come for the memories they can savor for years to come.
That was useful information. But you still have more to learn. You should visit more restaurants in the Glutton's Quarter.
Welcome. We have a popular selection of sweets. Our customers come here to put down their shopping bags and rest their weary feet. Our cakes and sweets are the perfect pick-me-up for just about everyone. We put a lot of love into our cakes, and that's what makes them so good. They're like treats for your palate and soul.
Light, I'm glad you're enjoying all the food, but I hope all these rich meals don't slow you down.
No breakfast for me today.
Step right up! Get the best meat and kebabs in Yusnaan! Our meat is shipped directly from the wildlands. We use only natural ingredients, none of that synthetic stuff. Grilling and roasting are the best. The key is knowing how to seal in the juices and flavors. And we do that better than anyone else.
You're gonna be a real food connoisseur by the time this is over. You just have 3 more restaurants left to visit.
Every one of our fish is fresh caught and delicious. We get our seafood fresh every morning. Comes straight out of the ocean. Tastes great raw or grilled. A chef is even more important when preparing uncooked dishes. The way you slice a tuna makes all the difference in the world.
2 more places, Light, and you'll have managed to sample all the popular restaurants of the Glutton's Quarter.
Welcome! How can I be of help? From the elegant simplicity of straight spirits on the rocks to complex and fruity concoctions with little umbrellas, we serve all kinds of drinks. Cocktails can be served, chilled or warm, shaken or stirred. Everyone has their own preferences. We encourage customers to consult with our staff to create the perfect cocktail to accompany their evening.
Almost there, Light. You have 1 more restaurant left to visit.
The food produced by the Falsi. All 100% natural. Come enjoy the healthy fruits of the earth! Even kids who hate greens love my veggie dishes. Vitamins in vegetables are determined by their color. You want a wide variety for a well-balanced diet.
Well, you visited all the best restaurants. What do you say, Light? Do you feel like you've learned all there is to know?
Listening to scraps of advice from chefs won't make me an expert. Besides, most of what they told me was common sense, and they didn't tell me anything I hadn't heard.
That golden sculpture, the one of God, will lead you to the Augur's Quarter. You'll need to figure out a method to get into Snow's palace.
Well, how goes the culinary tour?
I did what you suggested. I visited the top restaurants in the neighborhood.
That is excellent news. So now let me give you the advice I promised. If CD's restaurant wants to turn its business around... wait, let me ask you something first. You've eaten at CD's and at the best establishments in Yusnaan. Why don't you tell me what you think is the main difference between the two? I'd be interested to hear your opinion. In your own words, of course.
Why? Is this some kind of test?
Yes, exactly. Now tell me, what did all the successful restaurants have in common that poor old CD's lacks?
Let me see. Everyone I spoke to was helpful. They seemed honest and open. I don't think they were lying to me, but something seemed off.
Oh, would you care to elaborate?
Well, it almost felt like they were hiding something from the customers. But it wasn't as if they were deliberately lying or trying to deceive anyone. In fact, I don't think they realized it themselves. They thought they were telling me everything they knew. Yes, that's it. It was unconscious, like an instinct. They were hiding something, but they weren't doing it deliberately at all. I'd say the very best chefs, restaurant managers, and bartenders all share some kind of secret. It's like a special ingredient that makes their food stand out from the others.
What a wonderful deduction. You have hit the nail on the head. To think you discovered this answer only after visiting a few establishments. It is as you say, the best, most successful restaurants have a certain je ne sais quoi, a secret something that makes their offerings unique. And finding that something, that is what I do best. In other words, if the restaurant does not already have a special something, then I simply cannot help it.
Then what about CDs? Do you think you can help him?
I can tell you this, the chef there already knows his secret. The talent is there to make that restaurant a success. Unfortunately for him, the secret spice that gives his dishes flair is extremely rare. He cannot secure supplies, and that is why he struggles. Let me be specific. Once upon a time, CD's recipes all featured the spice commonly known as civet musk. But then supplies dried up and the restaurant fell into a long decline.
You seem to know a lot about CDs.
Well, a long time ago, let's just say we have a close history and leave it at that.
Fine by me. All I need to know is that if I can find this spice, the restaurant should start bringing in customers.
Yes, exactly. The problem is the spice is not easy to find. In fact, the only way to acquire it would be to defeat certain monsters. Such a shame. All for want of a single spice, his restaurant is failing. He has the recipe for success, he just needs the final ingredient.
Dann melde ich mich auch mal wieder zurück. Ich dachte nur, wenn ich eh von Laden zu Laden renne, lasse ich gleich mal den Ingame-Sound auf laut, weil so erscheint mir das einfach eine sinnvollere Abfolge. So. Der gute Gegner, den wir suchen, ist genau hier. Jawohl. Perfekt. Dann schauen wir erstmal, dass wir wunderbar alle verschiedenen Elemente auf ihn ausprobieren. So, was sagt denn unser Ding? Also Magie und dann entweder Wind oder Feuer. Also bleiben wir bei Feuer. Wobei, warum nicht eigentlich Zero? So, und dann ist auch schon der Felix Geschichte. So schnell kann es gehen. Und da haben wir auch unsere Fiole Seebet oder Sibbet oder wie auch immer.
That's it, Light. You found some civet musk. You should head back to Gordon Gourmet and see what he advises you to do next.
This is the famous banquet of the Lord. Recognize my...
Ha! I'd recognize that fragrance anywhere. You found civet musk. Thank you indeed. It's very kind what you're doing. CD's is lucky to have you on its side.
Why are you thanking me? If anyone should be grateful, it's me, and the owner of CDs, for all of your helpful advice.
Oh, quite so. When you put it that way, of course you're right. I just get caught up in a project and start thinking it's my own restaurant I'm saving. But back to business. Here, I developed this new and original recipe. I want you to take it back to CD's together with the civet musk you acquired. The owner will be waiting anxiously for you.
So, you still don't want to meet him yourself?
I'm afraid that won't happen. Not ever again. However, that doesn't stop me from wishing him and CD's the very best. Please tell him that whatever happens, I'll be praying for his success.
Lightning, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Do you remember what the owner of CD's told us when we met?
You mean the story about his son that ran away from home when the restaurant started struggling? Great minds, Hope. We've both been thinking that maybe this son of his went on to become a famous food expert.
And that's why Gordon won't meet CD's owner. But he still clearly wants to help out. Let's take the civet musk and recipe to CD's.
Gordon Gourmet created a new recipe for you. You should make it with this civet musk. Do that and you'll be able to save your restaurant. At least, that's what he said.
Why, thank you! This is wonderful! How can I ever repay you? This is incredible! Everything is here in black and white! A groundbreaking dish! I'd never have thought to do half the things in this recipe. The genius of Gordon Gourmet oozes from every word.
Notice anything else?
About the recipe? No, not particularly. It's well organized, written in a clear hand. Wait. This handwriting, it looks strangely familiar. Yes, I've seen it before. These swirls, these bold loops. Could it be?
I think so. It turns out Gordon Gourmet has a secret identity. He's your long-lost son.
He is? And you're sure it was him who created this wonderful recipe? But more importantly, he's in this town. Is he happy?
You have nothing to worry about. He's doing great. Except, I'm really sorry, but I don't think he wants to see you again. I can't tell you where he is.
But why? Yes, we quarreled when he left, but that was a long time ago. Is he still angry at me?
Do you have a message for him? I can make sure he gets it.
Well, how about this? I'm gonna make his dish just like the recipe lays out. Would you be so good as to deliver it to him? At the very least, I want him to try it. Truth be told, what I really want to tell him is to come back to CDs and work with me. Perhaps if he knew that I still haven't lost my touch. Would that be enough to entice him back? I don't know.
I don't think words alone will do it, but if he tries your dish and likes it, that might be enough for him.
And there it is, finished at last. Here, please, I want you to be the first to taste it.
All right. I'm feeling hungry anyway. Wow. This might be the most delicious thing I've ever had in my entire life. Really, it's incredible.
Why, thank you. Although all the credit must go to my son, it was his doing. Here, I've made enough for one more. I've asked you for many favors, but would you do this last thing for me?
Sure. I'll take it to Gordon Gourmet.
Everyone thinks the world is going to end. People need to ignore stupid rumors and enjoy great food.
Our cafe here on the first floor is always open to everyone.
Here at the banquet of the Lord, we are happy to welcome and treat
Oh, do I smell what I think I smell? I do, don't I? That must be my recipe.
Yes, the owner at CD's insisted that I bring you a portion so you could taste it for yourself.
I see. Well, then... Oh, yes, a perfect balance of fuzzy mutton and civet musk. The palate sings. It's a microcosm of culinary delight, a theme park of olfactory and gustatory attractions. And if you think that's hyperbole, I've only just begun. This is even better than I imagined. I always knew he was a skilled chef, but this...
So, why don't you go back there and help him out again in the kitchen?
Go back? Well, what do you mean? I've never... Oh, all right. The cat's out of the bag. You've somehow figured it out. What my true identity is. Yes, I admit it. I am indeed the son of the owner of CD's restaurant. It was a long time ago, but one day we quarreled, and I left the shop vowing never to return. We fought over cooking, you see. But even after I left, I vowed that one day I would rebuild the restaurant. That's what started me on my journey to becoming Gordon Gourmet. Since then, I devoted every waking hour to learning about the culinary arts. After many years of study, I finally had an epiphany. I realized what CD's restaurant needed to regain its former glory.
You had a falling out because of the menu? But when your father saw your recipe, he was thrilled. All he could talk about was how he dreamed of you coming back. So the two of you could run the restaurant together, just like old times.
So he recognizes my ability. Oh, but it's too late. I can't go back now. The fact is, I abandoned him in the restaurant when times were tough. I'm ashamed of what I did. I can't face him again. You mustn't feel that way, my son. Father, how did you find me?
My apologies to the young lady, but I wanted to see you. I followed her after she left the shop. What do you say? Let's start over. You set out on your own, did things your own way, stayed true to yourself, working hard to achieve your dreams. And now look what you can do. The recipe that you created was amazing. I've never seen the likes of it before. What can I say except that I am proud of you?
But Father, I left you.
Not in my wildest dreams could I have conceived of such a dish. Indeed, if you had given it to me back then, I doubt I would have recognized its greatness. But worse, I wouldn't have believed you could be capable of such a thing. I always underestimated you, my son. For that, you have my sincere apologies.
It's all right. And for what it's worth, I'm sorry for abandoning you and the restaurant when you were struggling to keep it going.
Looks like you two have made up.
Yes. Now let's get to it, shall we? Together.
We'll make CDs a success again.
That went well. A microcosm of culinary delight, did he say? That sounds rather tasty to me. Was it as good as he said?
Want me to pick you up some takeout?
You know what I'd prefer over that? If sometime you made me one of your specialty dishes.
I haven't spent much time in kitchens, but if you want something off a campfire grill, maybe I could rustle something up. I was never as good a cook as Sarah, but I have been told that I grill a pretty mean behemoth steak.
So, da bin ich auch mal wieder. Bin schon gar nicht mehr gewohnt zu reden. Ja, manche Nebenquests sind halt doch sehr langatmig. Also zumindest, wenn man nicht drüber kommentieren möchte. Und ich möchte ja schon das Spiel sprechen lassen. Ich bin ja nur als Gameplay und was ist gerade passiert Kommentator dabei.
The Champion's Quarter.
What do you think you're playing at, selling that poison? Make me stronger? It almost killed me.
I did warn you that the use of my concoctions is not without risk. In short, you were warned.
Not without risk? You're a crook and a charlatan, you hear me? Huh? I'm done with this place.
A pit of violence and aggression. And lately it's only been getting worse. Seems there have been more and more deaths.
Did you really sell poison to that man?
Of course not. It was a fortifying brew with centuries of alchemic theory behind it. I assure you it should be highly efficacious for most users. Sadly, it appeared to disagree with that gentleman's liver, or perhaps spleen.
You're an alchemist, right? Don't you people claim to be able to turn lead into gold or something? I don't think I buy it.
That is an unfortunate stereotype, all too common. Alchemists are natural philosophers dedicated to unlocking the mysteries of our physical and spiritual worlds. The search for ultimate truth is the core of our ancient art. The transmutation of base metals into gold, that is a mere byproduct of our inquiries.
Mysteries of the physical and spiritual worlds? The ultimate truth? Sounds ambitious.
It is. We perform experiments, observe phenomena, and analyze ancient records. Then we carefully record the results for future generations. It is painstaking work. Unfortunately, it is also capital-intensive. The experiments I perform are very expensive.
Right. That explains the snake oil racket you have going on here.
This location certainly has proven beneficial to my research. Bounty hunters congregate in the area, and, as you no doubt know, theirs is a dangerous profession. They are desperate for anything that might give them an edge, and that includes untested potions.
Untested? Does that mean you're using those poor dupes as test subjects for your latest concoctions?
They all sign the waivers. Perhaps you'd care to join my project. Ooh, you'd make a fine test subject. I have made a new secret potion that needs testing, but all of my regulars have refused to volunteer. You see, I've tried mixing two kinds of highly potent poisons. My theory is 2 wrongs will make a right, and the blend will have a beneficial effect. Oh dear, you are carrying a lot of things, aren't you? Maybe you should discard some of them. Do come again. I'm confident that my new potion is mostly safe.
All right, I'm game. What do you expect it to do exactly?
It will lift your spirits, invigorate your soul, and protect you from hexes and ailments. If you are the kind of person who participates in slaughterhouse tournaments, then this potion will be perfect.
So I'm supposed to drink it during a battle?
Yes, that would be the perfect time. And afterwards, don't forget to come back and tell me how wonderful it is. Please note that my potions are provided without warranty. Side effects may include dementia, gangrene, sudden death, and hair loss. Good luck.
So. Da sind wir jetzt ein Versuchskaninchen. Und in dem Fall gilt es einfach, sobald wir einen Negativzustand haben, müssen wir dieses Getränk, den Nektar, zu uns nehmen. Das heißt, da müssen wir einfach mal drauf achten, irgendwann, wenn ein Kampf kommt, dass wir da halt daran denken, wenn wir mal einen Negativzustand haben, und dann lässt sich das hier machen. Okay, der rennt halt rum, alles klar. Gut. Dann schauen wir doch mal weiter, was uns in Yusna noch so erwartet. Oh.
Hey, you there!
You mean me?
I know your face. You're the one I've seen on the posters.
Oh no, you've seen through my elaborate disguise. Yes, I'm the savior, here to steal the soul from your precious patron. What are you waiting for? Arrest me and you'll probably get a raise.
Shut up! I don't need you to tell me how to do my job, you damn criminal!
Got this. Looks like provocation will work. Keep it up.
Alles klar. So viel dazu. Was haben wir hier? Schwäche, Feuer. Easy peasy. Hier schauen wir auch gleich mal die Elemente durch. Aber der sollte theoretisch alles normal sein. Jawohl, das war zu erwarten. Also gar kein Thema. Ganz entspannt.
Well, there are quite a lot of guards. If you let them chase you around, you might get cornered. Take the offensive and try to throw them into confusion.
Alles klar. So, dann soll es das an dieser Stelle für diese Folge gewesen sein. Ich dachte, hier wäre noch eine Kiste, aber aus irgendeinem Grund finde ich die gerade nicht. Ja, ich weiß auch warum, ich bin nämlich an der falschen Stelle. Dann wollen wir noch kurz die Kiste einsammeln und dann soll es das für diese Folge gewesen sein. Ich wünsche euch schon mal an dieser Stelle, bei was immer ihr auch tut, viel Spaß und Erfolg. Und wir hören uns dann beim nächsten Mal in der nächsten Folge, wenn wir weiter Yusnan erforschen. Bis dahin, haut ihr rein. Tschüss.